side. Okay. You should come in. Oh. Namaste, welcome everyone to Satsang today, here in Monte Sahaja. The sound is okay? It's a little echoey for me. The sound is okay? At the back? Yes. And outside you can hear? Yes. Okay. Okay. I just want to have an indication first before I go. How many people are absolutely new to Satsang here? Okay. Does it mean that you have no idea what it's about or what? Okay. Because I feel these things a little bit, that And so therefore there are people in the room who are very, very much familiar, not just familiar, familiarity not enough, but who through being with Satsang for some time, they are at they are not merely learning something, but more refining themselves in being. And so it will be quite mixed. It's always mixed, but sometimes very diverse, very extreme mixture. If you've never been to Satsang before, it is okay, because you may be under the impression that you don't know what I'm speaking about. At least your mind might feel like that. So for those who are really new, I would just encourage you just to be open and don't ask questions too quickly. Maybe just allow yourself to arrive here a little bit. In the meantime, I'll go to those who are a little bit more, have a clearer feeling what kind of questions I'm going to be engaged with today. More, not so much about domestic and personal questions. We are going beyond that, and you will see why gradually as you get more attuned with the vibration of these meetings, you'll come automatically to feel right where you are in this. I'm addressing those who maybe not been to Satsang before. Okay, so we had some hands up before. Who was it? Hand was up somewhere. You? I'll take this one over there. No.
Okay. Hello, Mooji.
Hello.
I love you so much.
I love you too.
I never knew a love like this existed before I met you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I was with you in Zimar,
Yes.
and so my question has to do with the what is, the essence. My experience is that when you ask us, when you invite us to explore the what is, and you open that space for us, I'm one of the people that go right there.
Yes.
I feel it, I intuit the space and the emptiness and the timelessness. And then it seems, as the exercise ends, that it doesn't take much time. I'm not established in it. It feels like some people say they're established in it and it doesn't fade. I know it doesn't fade, but I seem to go away from it. And then I feel lost in my mind, and I'm not sure the path to go back, I've tried different techniques, but still it seems a slippery slope.
Yes. 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 Supposing, if I could think of an example now, supposing you are always suspicious about your parents. Okay? You are 3 meters tall, and they are 1 meter tall, both of them. Okay? And you are blonde, and they are black-haired. Okay? And you don't seem to have anything in common except that you're alive together, and they are very kind and they treat you well and everything, but there's something that doesn't I don't feel somehow. And so they never understood me. That's not so unusual. But something was not sitting right inside. But, and this goes on for years and years and years. You have thought of them as your parents. You say, when the mom speaks, you say, yes, mom, and I will do that, mom. Sorry, mom. And when dad speaks, you say, yes, dad, I'm so sorry, and I will do that today, and so on, so on, so. So that relationship is established, but there's still something a bit not complete. You see? You have brothers and sisters, and they're all 1.5 meter tall. But you are like nearly 3 meter tall, okay? And they all look like mom and dad, except you. And their behavior is similar or something like that, okay? And then one day, you're out shopping, and you bump into somebody, you know, and while you're shopping, and they look at you and say, are you from around here? And you say, yes, I am. So, wow, it's amazing. You have this amazing look of some people that I know. Forget about it. And you say, no, please tell me about it. Tell me about it. I said, no, it's a very strange story because we know where I live. We know one couple, when they were in hospital, some mix-up happened and the mother was given, and she feels it's the wrong baby. And this is about 25 years ago. Oh, I'm 25. And somehow, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't talk about it. No, please tell me about it. Where is this place? I want to. Oh, you're interested. Why are you interested? I don't know, I just am. I want to. Do you know, can you tell me something about these people? Well, actually, I know them. And can I take a picture of you and I'll show them? Just for curiosity's sake. As a matter of fact, I've got a picture of them. And then they show you this picture. You say, oh my God. You look so much alike. So much alike. So he says, look, I'm going back there and I'd like to take you. Just don't have any expectations, no hopes, but I want to take you just to say hello. But don't hold up any hopes in your mind. And you travel back and then you meet them and everybody's in silence, totally, including yourself. And then it turns out that you are their child because you look exactly like them, you see. Can you imagine so many things are falling into place and they're full of love and the whole family want to meet you and you find out before you were broke, you had no money, and now these people are multimillionaires and everything is just wonderful. Okay? So this happens now and you are totally happy, but you have to go back to your other family. So you go back to your other family. Can you forget these ones that you just discover? Can you forget them?
No.
Will you forget where they live, how to find them?
No.
No. And this story I'm telling you is very tiny story compared to what you discover. This is a very, very, because I had to make it up in the moment, you know? So it's a very, very small, it's not the best, you know? But what you have discovered yourself when we spoke in Zimar, and many of you also, because it's very unusual that in this type of gathering, so many people came to that recognition just like you. Okay? Many of you are here or not? Yes. Yes. You also lost it? No. It's faded? No. Somebody's going, is that a pianist or something? Or like this? Okay? Now, I'm not trying to make you feel bad.
I don't feel bad.
Good.
I'm curious.
Curious. So we want to find out what has happened with you. You made the most profound discovery, in my view, the most profound discovery. In all of our lives, everything that you have experienced, everything that you have seen, everything that you have sensed, everything that you believe, everything is passing. Everything is passing. coming and going, coming and going, coming and going. Okay? It's true or not? Even the most beautiful experience, oh, you want to have more, but it also passes. Have you ever seen or experienced anything at all that hasn't passed? Even the idea of yourself is passing. Everything is passing. And then recently, you came into the direct recognition of something that I asked all of you, can this pass? And you said,
No.
no. Isn't it amazing? All our lives, some people 25 years old, some people 50, some people 70, some people 16, and they all answered that from all over the world. They're from all over the world. And they all answered, it cannot pass. It cannot die, they say. There is no time. There's no distance from what I am and what that is. You all said this, I remember, no? And then, what happened? That which you yourself confirmed cannot pass. And it's not an ideology, it's not a philosophy. I'm not asking you to believe in something. You experience directly. You didn't have to see if anyone else experienced. You were strong enough in your own experience to say, yes, it's like this. It cannot go, it cannot fade. There is no time there. It is timeless. It cannot die. It cannot go because it never came. It's always been here. When have you ever spoken like that before about anything in your life? You spoke like that before. And now I am very curious and very happy in some way. Not happy because you feel you've lost it, but happy for the chance of looking what has happened with you that you now feel somehow it doesn't feel the same anymore. You rightly say, it must be the same. It hasn't moved, but I have moved. Okay? On that day when you were looking, the question was put to you, is it different from you? And you say, no, it is not different from what I am. But when I say I feel like the active witness. All the experiences are being reported to me. Which means that the same thing must be true of the what is. You are the what is. I was calling it the what is because we didn't want to use the usual words that people have trouble with, like God or the Supreme Being or Parabrahman. No, I said just call it the what is. Because we couldn't find another way to describe it. It's just that which exists. And you say, yes, it's the same. So then you say, and then. So take me through the and then again now. When did the and then begin?
It almost feels like a cloudiness.
Cloudiness. Okay. Suppose, let's start there. Feels like a cloudiness has come and is clouded over the what is. Is it true?
No.
No. Cloudiness would just be another sensation, experience of cloudiness. Now cloudiness is perceived. What it means cloudiness is perceived, that's all.
And then some thoughts will come.
Some thoughts are arising in the cloudiness. Some thoughts are arising. They're also perceived. Meaning that, like anything else, you didn't stop perceiving. Things come and go. You know the difference between the things that come and go and that which does not go. It's true or not?
It's true.
Even more clearly than before. Before, you had no reference for anything that you have experienced in your life that did not go. Everything you experienced was going. Yesterday went. This morning came and went. Friends come and go. Memory comes and goes. Objects come and go, imagination come and go, family come and go, everything is coming and going. Thought come and go, feelings come and go. So thoughts now still coming and going. What is the trouble?
Is it possible that, so it feels like the cloudiness and the thoughts start to preempt the space. They start to almost fill it up.
Yeah.
Is it possible that I have a misperception that that's not supposed to happen? That there's not supposed to be anything inside the what is?
Well, in a way, what is so magnificent about the what isness is that everything must appear in it and disappear in it.
So I have a misperception that it remains empty.
Everything appears in it and disappears in it, and all the while it remains empty.
So when things appear in it,
Yes.
that's just to perceive.
Yes.
It's not a problem. I'm making it a problem, and it's not a problem.
Wait, maybe even the functioning of perception, is perceived. The fact that you know that, like right now, you know you're conscious, isn't it? Everybody knows I'm conscious right now. I'm in the waking state, and I'm conscious. I'm conscious of many people here in this place, and we are speaking about this, and I'm feeling a bit uneasy, or I'm feeling very comfortable. I'm feeling a bit agitated. I'm feeling a bit confused. Whatever the feeling is, there's awareness of that feeling. That feeling will soon go. But some people may even taste a feeling like some agitation is here, but they're not concerned about it. And because they're not deeply concerned about it, they're not identified with it, it doesn't register deeply in the consciousness. It doesn't leave any lasting impression. It's just a sensation like everything else. It comes and goes in the space of perceiving. Maybe some feelings came, and those feelings feel like they're from the old state. The old way of thinking and feeling is arising, you see? And so I must be the same old person feeling them. And now I've lost the what is. But the what is not a feeling. Can I say it like this? For those of you, it is not merely a feeling. Because if it's a feeling, feelings come and go. Normally, human beings, we are looking for something, some kind of experience that we can feel. Oh, this feels really good. This tastes really good. Oh, this is really enjoyable. Oh, that is really intense. These are sensations. And we love experiencing diversity. This is sweet, this is bitter, this is tall, this is this. We love experiencing, in fact. Bitter or sweet, we love it. But this that isn't an experience like other experiences. It's not coming through the senses. Who follows? Yes. It's not just coming through the sense of, oh, that tastes nice. I can't say the what is tastes nice. It's not, it's tasteless actually. I can't say that, oh, it is round or that it is very long, because it is not any of those things. It's not reporting through the eyes. For the first time, you were seeing something, but not with these. Normally when we say we see something, I can see something here. What did you see with?
Heart.
With your heart. You saw.
Yes.
And when you speak from your heart, how strong you are, how clear. You see, you are not saying, I think, I believe. You are saying, it is so. That is power. And all of that, right now today, seems as though it's not quite so as it was a few days ago. Today is what, Sunday? Maybe a few days ago would have been Wednesday or Thursday or Friday What does that mean in the what is?
Nothing.
Nothing. So I want you to look at what it is that is, is it not just a thought?
It's a belief.
It's a belief.
It's some belief in that old state, being intruding.
Yes. Let's look at belief, because belief is a very powerful thing in the human kingdom. Belief. But belief changes also. It come and go, true or not?
True.
Yes. So it is also a sensation. It is also something phenomenal, something that appears and disappears. So don't take it like belief is a kind of fact that is something true. We believe all kinds of things, and many of them are not true. So the fact that we believe something, if you believe and you insist on your belief, if you really take it deep down, you will kind of believe it into existence, and it becomes your experience. Yeah.
I believe the belief came, and then the mind grabbed it.
Okay.
And then the mind says, "Oh, it's contaminated. This space is kind of now it's."
These are really good pointers.
Contaminated.
Suppose belief arose, okay, inside, which it can do, and then the mind or the person grabs the belief. Are you trapped in that bubble, that scenario? Are you trapped in the bubble of that, or are you outside of that?
Well, I'm seeing that I'm outside of that.
Yes. Because that, whatever that's going on, that will soon pass. And when it passes, will you have passed?
No.
You are still here to say, that's gone now. So it cannot be you. We need to find out what this is, because it's a strong thing, whatever it is. Because the what is, when it is recognized, is there anywhere where the what is absent from?
No.
No. You answer no. There's nowhere that can exist where the what is not. Yeah?
True.
Okay. And yet there's something inside here that's saying, something has changed. Something has changed. And that change seems significant enough to make me feel I've lost it. So what is that change? It must be something, some atomic power it must have. Just like you can use your fingernail and cover the sun. One thought, ill-conceived, can cover your intuitive recognition of your heart. You can do it. So what is this thing that appears to be hiding the what is? And hiding it from who? Hiding it from who? From you. And you are what? And where?
I am what is. I'm everywhere.
Oh, things have changed. I am happy you speak, because just like this, and she's right also, just like this, you have to get used to, you're going to have to get used to the craftiness, the cunningness of the personal mind. Because of this mind has a power to create the sense of delusion. And we, the consciousness, also, are believing in the different plays of the mind. And if you believe in them, then it's like, each one is like a little drug. Like if you take alcohol, it will have a certain kind of feeling in the body. If you take some other drug, it will have a different feeling in the body. Like each concept to believe in is giving a different little vibration, giving you a little hit. Okay? But we are so used to that, it's shaping the way you think and the way you feel, and who you think you are is gradually being shaped by your thoughts and what you believe is true. And the mind is not stable. So many of the things we believe also keeps changing, because in that realm, nothing is steady. All your life. Some would even say all your lives. Maybe this is not your only and first life. Maybe this is many lives you have lived, you haven't forgotten. Like you forgot last Wednesday, last Monday. What were you doing last Monday? Exactly. Can't remember, okay? If you can't remember last Monday, what about, last year Monday, on the Monday of April, whatever date, where you can't remember. Then other lives, forget about it. We don't even know we had those. So everything is passing. Everything is passing. What is the continuity? Then for the first time, some of you came to recognize the isness of existence. That's not a small thing. What it means, the isness of existence. Where everything, every feeling, every thought, every seed of memory, the idea you have of who you are and what this world is, our belief systems and different structures, different religions, whatever it is, arises from that and is perceived from that. Is that a small thing? Can anybody hide that? How many people here does not know what we're talking about in terms of this invitation to discover the what is? Can I have a see? How many people is for the first time hearing about this recognition of what exists? Okay, they see one hand. But yet I saw that there are many hands who are coming for the first time. Yeah. I don't know what to make of that one.
Only in person for the first time.
Huh?
Only in person for the first time.
Only in person. Oh, okay. Can I put the question again, differently? I asked before how many people are coming for the first time, and a number of hands went up. So that may be a different response than how many people are experiencing satsang for the first time. I'm not talking about who have just been to Monte Sahaja, but you have never, you don't know this subject of what we are speaking. And how did you come to find out about it here? What drew you to come here? Anybody brave enough to say? Yes. YouTube channel. So you have seen. Yeah, that's what I mean. If you watch it on YouTube, I count you in. If you have watched my talks on YouTube, it means that you, even better, you have a grasp what I'm talking about. You know we're not talking about football. You know we're not, yeah? You know, this is what he talks about. So, again, is there anybody who have not at all, don't know what they're doing here at all? Right. You don't know why you came.
I was hiking with my friends.
No, it's good. You were cycling with your friends?
Yes, and we are hitchhiking.
You're hitchhiking?
Yes, and we catch building, and very nice guys brought us here.
Okay. Okay. No, it's good. It's very, very good.
Yeah, but
And
we were interested in it because we heard what is it about, so we just came here.
okay, the important thing is that you feel comfortable to be here.
Yes.
You're fine?
Yes, I'm very good. I'm
Very
with
good.
two of my friends also.
The friends are okay too? One said, if you went like this, it's okay. If you went like this, I don't know. You're okay? Okay. We are okay? You're good?
I'm good.
You're good.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
This is a valuable thing, what you have just shared with us, because it shows that and this is the reason why, when so many people came into this experience, and perhaps I may share it again if you're open to that, but so many people came to a recognition of something very profound, and that it could it be forgotten? Can it be lost? And say, no, nothing like that can happen. And yet, after a few days, something has happened, and the feeling is it's not the same like it was a few days ago. We need to know why, isn't it? Suppose you found the most important thing in your life. You think, wow, I'm so happy I found this. And then 2 days later, you can't find it. It's disappeared. You want to know where it is, isn't it? If it's something that's of value to you. So this is why. And we are going to use these reports and to find out what can have happened if you found something which is for you the most important discovery. Why? Because it will put an end gradually to all your delusions and confusions and your any kind of negative energies playing inside will start to rectify. You see where they come from, that they come from the ego state. And that the what is not an ego state. And you will begin, this is why I say it is important that once you discover it, that you stay with it for a little bit and just keep marinating in your discovery just for a while. So it's not just a mental it. So it's not just a psychological conviction, but that it is confirmed in you that this is real. It is real. It's not even a belief. It just is. You see? Okay, we're going to go on a little bit again and take someone else's question. See your hand. Can I see you for a moment?
Namaste, Mooji.
Namaste.
Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous. I discovered the what is in Zimar, but I also came across a very strong energy that takes me away from everything and puts me in my head and kind of locks me up in my head.
Really? So if we just took your head off, okay, and we put it over here, because you and your head is over here, and you have to speak something from your heart now. Because something's pushed you up in your head, and the one who can be pushed up in the head, I call it your attention maybe, or your ego identity or something, it's in the head, and we're just going to take the head off and put it behind over there now. And I said, I have no problem with the body, because from the neck down, you cannot sin. Okay? We cannot do anything wrong. Okay? Now speak something from here. If it's push you up in your head, somebody push you up in your head, and you don't know that, okay, that's the sensation. What happens now? If you're up in your head, what it means effectively in life? How does it affect you?
The effect is that can't make contact with anything around me. It's
Okay. Speak only from the head then. Okay, no, but I have to, you say something has pushed me. Everything, right up, everything up there, from the toe all the way up. I'm in my head. I'm in my head. Why would something, whatever it is, do that? You have just made the most wonderful discovery in the human kingdom. You simply discovered your total harmony I saw many people just after that this discovery, and I never see anybody so quiet, people so quiet and so happy. All their questions fell away. They felt very just calm, just like this, okay? Why would something come and go lock you up in your head, you can't come out?
It strains me here in my stomach too, like it's
And this has been going on since when?
It became more clear after Zimar, but I know this is a reaction.
So this is happening to the what is or not? No. It is happening to the idea you have of who you are. It is happening to your self-image. The idea, your egoic identity is having that. And actually, that egoic identity is not you. It's not anybody. Your ego identity is not you. It is just what you have taken to be you. And also, you've had many little identities and episodes like that, of ego rushes, and you believe yourself so strongly to be this type of person. You try to convince people who you are. You may even go to war and start to fight people for who you think you are. But that will change. And another moment you'll feel, wow, what was I doing? I mean, what was that? I was completely crazy. I don't believe this anymore. So we've had many different impressions about ourselves, many different ideas about who we are, and they all pass. They were not consistently true, isn't it? Your idea about yourself is not yourself. So something, it seems, inside the human instrument is not supporting your urge for freedom. It is like it wants to keep your attention just about on your everyday life and, paying your bills and getting a new car, and blah, 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 which is, it's okay too, but it's not enough for a true life. True life is not about the things you have, but of who you are. So, at first it would seem that these ideas, you discover something that feels very beautiful. And then something goes, no, you can't have that. In fact, I'm going to push you in your head in the place where you really get confused. And you can't integrate, you can't align yourself with other beings. You're going to feel very left out and strange. Is that your friend? I don't think so. And so there's a feeling of agitation and being in the head.
Yeah.
Is it anything other than a sensation? You can observe that. You can observe whatever effects happen in your body, mind. Why can you observe them? Because you are much bigger than that. You can observe whatever happens in the body, even in the most subtle expression, you are aware of it. You observe that. And whatever happens in the mind, the feeling of confusion, oh no, I don't want, and oh, why can't I do this? And now I am like this, and all these, you can observe them. Those feelings come and go. Don't give so much importance to these things. They come and go. Supposing you are working on a bus as a tour guide. You're working as a tour guide, and you're meeting people from all over the world just for 2 hours. Do you want to study all their names? No, you don't need to. You're not probably going to use them. You're not going to see them again, most likely. Why you study John? Was it John or John? No, forget about it. Your thoughts are just the same. They're just coming. And for what good are they? No good at all. It's nonsense. When a thought is useful, like for practical life, You'll use that thought, and it won't leave any bad smell behind, because it's just for practical purposes. But thoughts to do with how you feel about yourself and how you feel about people, you best just leave those alone, because they're not serving you. They don't make you happy. They make you divisive, very untrusting, very resistant, and very cynical about life. They are not your friends. You have to discern also a little bit and use your natural power. You, all of you, everybody, you have natural power inside, but maybe it doesn't feel accessible for you because of, first of all, the first thing is we have to find out the truth of what we are. When you're sitting in your truth, these things won't trouble you. When you're believing yourself to be merely a person, which is primarily a psychological state of mind, then you will not be so happy. You will not be steadily happy in your life. You'll be happy for 5 minutes. And I want to have a repeat of that 5 minutes. And all of this. I am here to point you to something far, far beyond that nonsense. And you know, when I say far, far, not far, far there, right inside you.
It feels like that the force that has power, the mind has unconscious power over my breath, like it
Yes.
without knowing I stop breathing or I stop.
That is region. That's his vicinity. That's his region. Some people call this kind of mind, this kind of power, devil's power. Because it is trying to restrict, to control your mind and control your breath and to make you into a slave of this type of way. So your life doesn't find full expression.
And I don't want that. I want to get free. I want to get...
Well, you know, to be free of that, you must be free of the present identity you're holding on to. It's not that is the problem, but it's who you think you are that is the problem. When you know yourself, you can play every kind of role and nothing happens for you. A good actor can play many different roles, and none of them leave a deep impression on him. When you know who you are, you can play all this you can experience, and they will not trouble you. But when you believe you are something you're not, then these things will trouble you. You'll really become obsessive about things, addictive to some things, full of vanity and pride and arrogance about other things. You see, this is not your true nature. This is not your true nature. Your true nature is one of peace and happiness. A happiness that doesn't even need a story. And a joy, a wisdom, a lightness of being, spontaneity, freshness, fearlessness. This is your true nature. And it comes with correct understanding, correct recognition of your true position as consciousness. At present, you are not living as consciousness. You're living because of consciousness, but you're not living as consciousness. You're living as a person. A person is also consciousness, but it is a kind of contaminated consciousness. It's not possible to contaminate consciousness. The only way to do that is that if it dreams something, it is dreaming like you are dreaming yourself to be something you're not, and so you're suffering in your dream. If you suffer in your dream, it's called nightmare. come out of that, you see. So, for the sake of those who perhaps have not really, are not familiar with this invitation, how it started was that I asked people if it was possible to come to a recognition within your own self, not merely a belief, but a recognition whereby you would immediately find a peace. You'll be free of any trouble in your mind and anxiety about life. You will discover your true nature. Right now, would you be up for it? That's what my question, isn't it? Is there anybody who would not be up for it? Because this is a very free place. If you're not up for it, I wouldn't want to put you through that. And I'd ask you, go outside and sit there's some nice olive trees outside. You can sit out there. But if you want to go with the exercise or with this invitation, you're welcome to stay. And we can look together. We are good? Yes. And if you need to leave, don't be embarrassed to go. Just say you're going to the loo and nobody will know, and you'll go off. You can sit down for a moment now. What we said is that someone, let's say it is yourself, you have come and you have asked. You've said, Mooji, I hear some people say that you can help us to discover our true nature. And I want to discover this. Can you help me? Okay? I said, yes, we can do that. When you want to do it, you say right now. Can I speak for you like this? I'd like to see what that is. I want to be in that. I said, well, okay. Let's take a look, you see. Here I am in this space. I'm in a certain space, a room, and this designed to facilitate awakening. I'm in here. You have knocked at my door and you have asked me, can I come in and speak with you and discover with your guidance my true nature? I said, yes, you can come. But you must, before you come into this room, please leave your shoes outside, just like you have done today. You have to leave your shoes outside to come into this room. Me too, I have to leave also. Leave your shoes outside, and then I said also, you have to leave your mind outside. Now, of course, nobody's ever asked you to leave your mind outside. No? But it's not as difficult as it might appear to be. What do I mean by leaving your mind outside? It simply means that you don't talk about the past. Leave the past outside for a moment. Just for the time that you're here. If it's 5 minutes that we are going to be looking with you, then for 5 minutes, leave your mind outside. When we are finished, success or failure, you can go back and get your stuff. Your old mentality and thoughts and all of that. I don't want it. Nobody wants it anyway. It will be right where you left it. I don't think anybody's going to steal your old baggage of stuff. So leave it outside. And also, don't speak about the future like I would like to. I'd like to be a yoga teacher. I would like to be a satsang teacher. I would like to travel around the world and see. No, I don't want to hear it. It's not important. Later, when you are by yourself, you can do that. But for this, I don't want to speak about the future, and we're not going to talk about past. And you will say what? It's okay? Yes. So, if you are going to say, well, I'm not sure, I'm just going to wait and just see what happens and so on, then you will not come to the recognition. You have to be open. Now, your mind might say, but I'm not sure if I can trust this person. Maybe he's going to deceive me and put me into some kind of hypnotic state and something and steal my money. Okay, so I would say this time is not for you. You go and wait maybe for another time. And then you can see, then after the exercise is finished, if I've got a lot of people's money and they're going out bumping into trees and stuff, you say, wow, I was so lucky I didn't join in and managed to escape. But for the rest of you trusting ones, are you on board?
Yes.
Very good. So we're not going to speak or engage about past, I don't want to know. About future, I don't want to know. And about present, like what you're thinking and feeling right now, I don't want to know. It's not important. These are things in time, they're always swimming by. And you can do this, it's actually not difficult. We do it all the time. You withdraw your attention from some things because you don't want to go there. So you withdraw your attention from the past and from future and from even present. When you feel like you're empty of these, then I say, come in. And close the door and come and sit. So I give you a few moments for that. When you feel comfortable that you've left these, you will not engage with them, this is already something beautiful. You've made a choice. You make a choice, I don't want to engage with my thoughts about past and present and future, because this really matters to me, that I'm really present and I really give my full attention to what Mooji is pointing. And it is very simple. So you're here. Now normally the mind will come and say, well, okay, I've done what you asked, what now? What's the next thing? And I'm going to say, there's no next thing. I want you for now, don't go to next, because that's your stretch towards future again. Don't touch the idea of expecting something for now. Just be totally empty, even of next. So that may seem very unusual, that I'm not leading you down the road. I'm just telling you, just stop. This is just a stop. No past, no future, no present, no next. Okay? And no hold on to your identity also of who you think you are and what, none of this. Just be empty of all of this. You're simply here. And you're not waiting. Don't be waiting. Just notice what I speak with you and just be with this. Don't be waiting. This is possible for you. I'm only bringing your attention to now and here. That's all. Just be as you are just now. No baggage of past and what you want to do in the future. Just leave that alone for a moment and you are just here now. And now that you're here, I can ask you some simple questions. Don't be trying, don't be making any effort, because the now does not need your effort. To be here, you don't need any effort, you're already here. There is an awareness here. You're simply here and you are aware that you are here. This now that is. Can this fade? This. We're not going to give it any, I call it the what is. It will do for now. What is here, which is yourself, you are here. I didn't say leave yourself outside. I said leave your stuff outside. You're here. Without your stories about you and your albums about you and just you. Just you. And the awareness. And awareness is here, you see. This effortless isness. Can it go away? I'm asking you now and I need some feedback from you. Can it go away? No, it cannot go away. Does it have a shape, I ask? No. What about size? How big is it or how small is it? Does it have size? No. Color? No. Whatever is here, is it your belief? At the back over there, you can answer? No, it's not merely belief. Can it be touched? No. Does it have any moods in itself? No, no moods. Here's a good one. Can it be sick? No. You're quite sure? No, it cannot be sick. Can it expand? Ah, not so much answers, no. Can it expand? No, no. To expand means you have a size. Would you agree? Yeah? So can it expand? No, it's not expansive. Supposing you, whilst being aware of it, you fell asleep. When you wake up, would it be gone? You sure? No. Yes. Okay. I'm going to ask you a very difficult one. Can it die? Over there? You? It can be loved, someone say it can be loved. By whom can it be loved? Let's slow down a little bit now, because it can be loved. And I'm not disagreeing, I'm only asking now. By whom can it be loved? By itself. Let me ask you another thing, one thing. How close to you is it? I mean, closer, would you say intimate, or which is very close? Or a millimeter or more? How close are you to it? No distance. No distance. And if I say, you're sure you're not just imagining all of this? Over this side here? No. You're a bit weak on this side. I don't know what's happening over there. What about you? You imagining? You sure you're not imagining? I have not thrown magic powder in your face and you are seeing with your own light? And if you came from, say, Croatia or from Mexico or someplace. I mean, is it that you live too far for it to come with you, or what? Will it travel with you when you go back? Yes. So, yes. Extra seat in the plane. She's traveling in it. Okay. Let's just stop for a moment and really check in with what you're saying. It cannot travel. Just stop for a moment and we are checking in if what you are discovering and saying, is it true? Just be with it for a moment. Is there it and you? No. So yourself and it are one and the same, you would say like this? Was it born sometime? Were you born sometime? Really? Where are you answering these questions from?
From it as if saying no distance.
Anybody here? Where are you answering? Where are these answers coming from? From your head? From your senses? Huh?
From truth. From truth.
From truth. If yourself and this is identical or is one, more put it is one, and you say it has no complaint, it cannot be sick, it cannot die, it cannot go away. But yet, all our lives, we had not recognized it. Where was it? It's here. So I'm asking you, how important is this discovery today? You must speak for yourself. Because either your mind is going to say, yeah, that's really quite, hey, that's neat. That's awesome, man. Wow, it's really good. We can practice that sometime. I got the secret now. Yeah, hey, I went to see Mooji and I'm awake. I'm enlightened, man. I'm starting my own series next week. Is it so? No. Perhaps it's more like a beginning for many people. Because before this recognition, we speak about, but, you're looking at this, but, sometimes people are not sure. Yeah, but you cannot be this, but not sure. But today you are clear that you have a fixed point from where you can compare something. Because something on this side or somewhere is going to say, yeah, but, this, and yeah, but, and you have to look and say, is that you? But it feels like you. There's a space, a dimension of expression which is very, very personal. a place you feel you know very well, your identity, your person. Where does that operate in the what is? Is it just two distinct things, have nothing to do with each other?
Gives the flavor to this consciousness.
He says that the personality and so on gives a flavor to the consciousness. It's not bad, we can look more. You are saying over there? So quite rightly, she said, at the moment, it still feels like two, okay? Which is honest, good. Still feels like two. And so you're speaking as the what is or as the person? Come. We want to hear, even though you're scared to speak. We want to hear what you speak. Everything, you see, for one who is genuinely searching, looking for what is true, everything, every doubt, everything, you're going to use it as a mirror in a way. Either as a mirror or as a window to look through or look at where your voice is coming from, where your identity is coming from, where these thoughts are coming from. Let's take a look.
It's like, I know. But mind is just like they're saying, well, if you know, then I'm not going to be here.
Right, which means?
I'm back in the person again.
No,
But
don't do mind's work for him. And the mind just starts a sentence, you finish it off.
It's like, like...
Suppose mind say like that, and suppose it comes from the mind and it says like this, if this is true, then what did he say, I'm out of here? Or
No, it's like my mind's gone off on one, and it's like I've been trying to do like the inquiry with like who's like going off on one, and if I'm honest.
Yeah. Sorry, you being what again? Just qualify yourself. Who is speaking now? Let me just understand.
Well, I don't know if this is... It's like I really want to clear something up.
Yes.
And it's like mind is saying to me, yeah, go on, you speak to Mooji, and I've got you in a corner because it's like this is now... Mind is asking the question, and mind shouldn't be like asking the question. And it's like it's got me in this little box now that I just daren't speak because whatever I say is going to be from the mind and the person, and it's wrong.
You are still identified as that which the mind is capable of speaking with and having a relationship with. The idea you have of yourself is where your identity is holding on. That mind, the psychological force of the mind that you're speaking about and from, it cannot intimidate the pure self. It cannot intimidate the what is, by the way, isn't it?
Sorry.
Can it intimidate the what is?
No.
No. Okay, so it has to find something that it can intimidate, the one who will jump when he goes boo, okay? And presently, that one, you have volunteered, I am that one, okay? Because your self-evaluation is of someone who can lose this thing or can be held by the mind, and the mind is going to go, don't stop doing it. And you'll go, ouch, 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 ouch. Please, I will be a good girl. I won't go to Mooji again. And I'll be something is being this. That identity is reacting that way. And perhaps it's the only way you think, or that's the only space you really fit as a person. You fit into that space. And you're not as yet, acclimatized yourself to your newfound space of the what isness. Let's slow down so we can listen. We can go over that, because when it first emerged in me that we were going to, this example, this invitation was being presented, I first felt this is the end of my work. Because I can show you, and that will be it. But it's not it. I show you, and you see, aha, this is what I am. And then another series of work begins to clarify your doubts. Because something is still going back to the old regime of identity and say, yes, I know the what is. I've been there. It's really nice. It's really together, okay? But I am not together right now. So I don't qualify to say I am the what is in my present state. You see? We need to look at that which is speaking, and to not from some abstract place, but from the place where I'm asking you, for now, don't study about this. Just be with it. Just be with it. Just like you've just delivered the baby, and you just be with it. Okay? You don't be interviewing the baby. Okay? Just be with the baby. Just be there. Okay? And your love or your growing appreciation, because I say growing, because it can be a very slow thing. You have not felt the impact of your seeing yet. You see, it's going to feel like a slow release tablet. You take it, you feel nothing for a bit. And gradually its power is waking up in you. That's the impact of seeing. It's not just a slap in the face and, oh, Mr. Buddha. No, it is somehow that you've been hit and you don't realize it's too fast. Somebody was saying, one man was saying, I'm skipping a little bit still for you, so don't go to sleep, okay? Said that they were talking about Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee is a great martial artist, no? And he said that they were on set and they were practicing a scene, and Bruce Lee was showing the actors what to do, and some of the other actors were saying, he's not as good. He's not as good as they make him out to be. He's just an actor. He's not that good. At the same time, one of these wannabe actors jumped out from above on something, challenged Bruce Lee, come on, take me on. We have a break now. I want to see how good you are. Okay? So Bruce Lee said to him, attack me anyway. So he kick me, he says. So the man threw a kick and Bruce Lee simply blocked it. Then it was Bruce Lee's turn. Bruce Lee threw a kick and it was so fast that nothing happened. Okay? So the guy was laughing like, that was nothing. And then he spat all his blood and teeth out. Okay? Not a nice thing to be saying in satsang for the moment, but a good example, no? Okay? Meaning that it was so fast, okay? Even he himself didn't feel the impact itself, no? But he's going to laugh and okay? I'm not going to say something like this is going to happen to you. But the impact of seeing is like this. It has happened, and gradually, wow, waves of illumination will begin to surface within you, and you will come to know without study even. Why? Because here now you are just being with it. It's like, what is what is? I mean, there's nothing to describe. There's nothing you can share. As I can give you a piece of what is, I've got plenty or something. You can't share it like that. It is not any religion specifically. It is not anything personal. It cannot be sick. It cannot die. It cannot leave. Where has it been all my life? Well, right here. Wow, How do you explain this? Don't. Keep quiet. Keep looking at it, looking towards it, being one with it. And gradually, it will begin to flower in you. You follow? Because at first what's going to happen is your mind goes, yeah, well, been there, done that. Well, very nice. I know where to go. Next time I'm feeling a little bit moody, I'll just go to the what is. No, you won't. Because it is as though in the play of life, not in the reality itself, in the play of life, it is as though your mind has been trying to catch your attention so you don't recognize the what is. It's like every time anything comes close, it will give it another label, another reading, and your attention will just go there. As you're coming close to recognition, the mind throws a stone in the bush, and what was that? And you're off the scent again. It plays like this. And funny enough, it seems like it's meant to play like that for a while, until you are sufficiently ripe enough to grasp something of it. The life will give you, the nature of life in its expansive evolutionary movement is that it doesn't give you full solution, it gives you a hint. And you must exercise your discernment. You must grow in your power to recognize. And then as you recognize, you exercise. You're developing spiritual muscles. And spiritual muscles are that you look and then you discern and you feel, you come to higher and higher states of consciousness. Not because it gives you fully. When you are fully mature, then you get even what you've not asked for. You don't even have to want. The one who is mature in the heart is without wants. They don't, God, please give me. What? They don't have no want. The one who has no want is free. The one who has a lot of wants does not know themselves. Yourself is the source of all things. It satisfies itself. And we are growing back. It's almost as though in this life the opportunity is to win yourself back from states of delusion whereby you're not perceiving correctly. We're perceiving on the basis of being a person, which is a very contracted, very limited form of consciousness. It is consciousness also, but it is a very handicapped consciousness. It's a very restricted consciousness. But because of the momentum of habit, because of habit, a reflex goes back to the old regime of being. And that will happen for a while as you're slowly crossing over a shift from person to presence and from presence to pure awareness. This is the real evolution. So it is not so out of place what you've said. I expect that as a result of your seeing now, of course, the old identity will still spring up. Don't be super surprised about that. But each time, something you say, yeah, but I've lost it now, and at a certain point, you are not going to, that voice will not have any influence over you.
It's not even a voice like saying that I've lost it. It's like talking about, because was like another word for consciousness is God, isn't it? And you talk about blasphemy.
I speak about blasphemy. In what context?
That people to say that, like their God is blasphemy.
Say?
That for people to say that they, like people can't admit that they're like the God self because it's blasphemy.
No, you are misquoting how it's said.
Right.
I say that some people feel to say that you are one with God is a blasphemy. But I say rather to feel that you are apart from God is blasphemy.
Right.
It can also be seen like that, isn't it? That where would you get your power from? Where is your source that you can speak like that? You see, so the language is very, very open. We say, you know, depending on what your culture is and the way of looking, you see, people say things like that. But I'm not saying that you say that you are equal to. I'm saying you are one with. One with mean I'm of the house of God. I'm in harmony with that field of God, you can say. That is only brought about through your awareness and through your inner recognition. If you say it prematurely, it amounts to an arrogance. It means nothing at all. You see, even you don't have to be saying this. You're seeing this. You're seeing that, well, where else can I be? From where am I? Who am I? When we have the feeling that we are just the body and our conditioning, you feel yourself to be an objective entity, solid and tangible. So therefore, you search in life for things which are equally tangible and objective. You see, that's what you love. And you are very much attached to the fruit of the senses and the projections of the mind. As you become more and more established in a subtler consciousness, the body feels an inadequate representation of what consciousness is. You see? So you are experiencing yourself not so much as form, but in formlessness. And anyone who meditates or you're contemplating or inquiring, you're coming to a kind of formlessness that where the seeing is emerging from, that cannot be seen because it doesn't have this, it's not an elemental quality, it's not have shape or size, it is more spatial. So something feels growingly comfortable with that recognition. So it is a maturing, you see, like that. Eventually you will see that you will not worry so much for the form because you are in your formless state. You're happy with the form and you are beyond the form and you're still happy with the form. You follow? And you must be experiencing this also. It's not something I'm giving you some futuristic thing. Everything is now. But whether you're able to appreciate it or to recognize it now, that I don't know. That may take a little bit more time.
I think what was like when I said about being in a box, it was if like I was damned on both sides. So
that you were what?
that I was like damned on both sides. So
Okay.
to admit that I'm like one with God on one side was like wrong to say, and then like you say, to say I'm not of God is wrong also. So it was like I was condemned or like damned on both sides. And when I did, you know, when you did the invitation, and I don't like to say the words I got it, but it was like, that wasn't good. And how could that be?
This can only, see, what can happen here is simply because you're thinking too personally. When you're thinking personally, when you're strong in the body-mind, your thoughts become very personal. And you'll perceive God personally. You understand? We were talking about this before. that at one time we were only taught that, God is up there and, we are down here and we are just His creatures and so on. But in real experiencing, we found that is when I believe I'm just this body and this mind, it is actually a very low belief system. Can I say like this? It is not a honorable thought at all, that you're merely your body, just something which is perishable, and your mind, which is so fluctuating. The mind is not stable at all. Who can disagree with that? That the bodies go back to the earth, and the mind stuff just the seed of the mind, if it carries a lot of identity, okay, it will go somewhere when the body drops. And it will carry that thought, and that thought will need an instrument through which it can continue to sort itself out. If you want to call it reincarnation, I'm not going to stress on that right now, but your idea of yourself as just only the body and the body-mind conditioning is a lowly thought. And if you believe it, which we are all brought up to believe like that, okay, we become very easily victims of life. The mind force of the darker energies and so on, they will easily overwhelm you because you think of yourself as perishable. You understand? We will be prone to feelings of guilt and fear and judgment and damnation and just unforgivable, unworthiness. All these things, you will know these kind of qualities more. You see? Because you think of yourself as a thing. And things are passing and perishable. But as you begin to be pointed inwardly, and grace helps you to do that, to look internally. When you look internally, you begin to discover eternal. When you begin to look inside, you see that, but all these forms are being seen, but the seer of them, can the seer of them be seen? And when you really genuinely try to find who is seeing these, and not just assume or speak from what you've read in a book, but really look for yourself, you find the seer cannot be seen. And that is a fact of experiencing. And that something feels more truthful, more open, more universal, more powerful, more just beautiful. It feels very natural, and all of these other higher qualities are coming in. Because when you hold the thought that you're only the body-mind, that cannot embrace the higher consciousness, you see. Only as you are discovering your formlessness, you can then be capable of perceiving the higher modes of consciousness. And then it will not feel all blasphemy and all these thoughts, which makes a human being feel heavy and afraid. They will thin away because you have transcended them. Your mind has gone to a higher altitude of consciousness, and these lower impressions and vibrations, they cannot breathe in that altitude. So they will stay only in the low area of the manifest, you see.
What mind said when I had the recognition was, if this is consciousness, well, this is, mind was saying about the recognition, if this is consciousness, it's not very, it's not a reflection of how glorious God is. Because, like you said, I think I had a perception of how it should be, because, your
As
book,
I said to you, this is a beginning.
Okay.
You've come through a door and you think you've seen the mansion. You are just stepped in through the front door and you think, wow, so this is the mansion. Yeah?
But mind makes me feel so bad when I'm sitting there and you ask the questions
No,
and everyone's going, yes.
Mind
yes,
doesn't make
yes.
you feel. Mind says things that you believe. Mind say things and you believe them. And by believing them, you come to feel very shrunken and weak and so on. You're a believer in your mind. You see? So as long as you keep looking from the place of the person, it will feel as though, my mind is beating, my mind is like this and so on. But it is there. One day you will thank your mind. You will say, thank you, because when I believe myself to be a person, you were on my back, okay? Biting me so that I will jump out of the person and into presence. When I was in presence, you could not bite me. Your bite pushed me to presence. You see? When you flatter me, you made me go to sleep to who I am. But when you kick me, I woke up to who I am. You see? Yeah. Okay, thank you. French? Okay. She's right with you, I think. Huh? Well, there's one there, too, also. Okay.
Alors,
Okay.
tout ce que tu fais en exercice m'a été donné la première fois.
Everything you do in the exercise
Everything you do in the what?
in the exercise was given on the first time.
Touché à l'être. La première fois, ça m'a été donné. J'étais jeune, c'est resté 1 mois. Je ne savais pas ce que c'était. Je n'avais pas de livres, de choses. J'étais pas intéressé à ça.
So it touches to the being. And the first time he had an experience with the beingness of the being. You were a kid, he was a kid.
Après, il y a quelque chose qui m'a poussé à reconnaître ça à l'extérieur. Donc j'ai lu des bouquins, j'ai rencontré mon maître, et la deuxième fois où c'est arrivé, pareil,
Je peux traduire.
Excuse-moi.
So the first time it happened, he didn't know what it is, but he wanted to understand, like looking outside what it was. So he started to read books. And then the second time,
c'est arrivé aussi, et sans que j'ai une explication, sans que mon mental le fixe, par surprise.
it happened also a second time, this kind of experience. And he didn't know, he was surprised about it, like something came without expectations.
La troisième fois, c'était à Asmar l'année dernière. Il n'y avait pas de traduction. Et donc pendant la semaine, je n'ai rien compris. Mais je suis sorti avec un état d'être.
The third time, it was in Zimar last year. There was no translation, so he couldn't understand. But he was in this state of the beingness.
But you have to come more forward, come more to now. What do you want to know?
Il faut que tu viennes plus au présent et que tu dises ce que tu recherches maintenant.
Le présent me mène à un endroit où maintenant, quand j'ai la traduction,
So now, like in the present, when he has the translation,
cela disparaît.
this disappears.
This what disappears?
Qu'est-ce qui disparaît?
Mon état d'être.
His state of being.
State of being has disappeared. And what witnessed the disappearance of the state of being?
Qu'est-ce qui observe cette disparition de l'état de l'être?
If the beingness itself disappear, whatever witnessed the disappearance of the being, is it concerned about disappearance of being?
Si l'état de l'être disparaît, celui qui observe cette disparition de l'état de l'être est-il lui-même préoccupé par cette disparition?
Je n'arrive pas à répondre avec mon mental.
He doesn't manage to answer with his mind.
J'ai toujours été guidé par mon...
Okay, is he happy about it?
Es-tu content de cela?
Non.
Non.
So it is not weakness from the what is. It's more that his mind is having a sense that his beingness has disappeared, which is not true.
Ce n'est pas quelque chose que tu observes à partir de l'endroit de ce qui est. C'est ton mental qui a cette sensation d'une disparition.
It's just a thought you are believing in.
C'est juste une pensée à laquelle tu crois.
Yeah. When the beingness itself becomes insignificant, or if it disappears, you should be in the state of the highest.
Quand cet état de l'être disparaît, tu devrais te retrouver dans l'état le plus élevé. Toi-même dans cet état le plus élevé.
What he's speaking is that the feeling, he's putting the state of being, like maybe a particular beautiful feeling, is not being felt anymore, so it feels as though the state of being is gone.
Ce que tu appelles l'état de l'être, c'est quelque chose qui est une sensation belle ou agréable, et que tu as l'impression qu'elle a disparu, donc tu as l'impression que l'état de l'être a disparu.
Non. Quand je suis sorti quand j'ai reconnu cet état, quand je suis parti de Zmar,
When he recognized this state, when he left Zimar,
ou pendant un mois, tout ce que tu expliques, je le vivais.
everything you were explaining for 1 month, he was living that.
J'ai l'impression que l'explication m'éloigne de l'état.
I have the feeling that the explanations puts a distance with the state.
He has a feeling that explanations are
Like putting a distance, like putting...
not necessarily, in the mature state, these things you will not feel like that. When you are in the more early stages, you're easily distracted, you see. When you in an early stage, you're easily distracted. If you're training a dog or something, you just start to train, then you say, every time you say sit, and you're holding the string, sit, no? And you sit for a minute, and I'm sorry, I don't know if it's French translation for this, maybe. He's got your thing.
Non.
Dans un état plus avancé ou plus mûr, ce genre de choses ne se produit pas parce que tu es beaucoup moins distrait. Et, par exemple,
we have to speak a bit more quickly. Maybe can you listen with this one?
No, I can't. No.
Okay. Anyway, when you sit, did you say sit? Dog sits. But as soon as another dog passes, he's gone. Okay? So then you come back, and then each time you say sit, another dog goes, he goes, and then you pull him back. Then gradually one time you say sit, a dog goes, and just the eyes go. You see? Sit, one dog goes, nothing happens. You see? Then he's trained. You see? So at first, it's like this. I say, just be with this. Be with this. And then the mind comes, hello, whoop, he's gone. You say, come now, be here, You sit there, then the mind says, oh, you remember yesterday? And he goes, oh, yes. And so I said, no, sit here, no? This is training. No, it's not even I am saying, you should be saying it to yourself. Maybe if you're with a teacher, he's watching every time when you go off. He says, no, you stay. And you feel irritable. No, go, stay. But as soon as this discipline has happened inside, you feel so free. You're totally free. You can go anywhere because you cannot be distracted anymore. So it's still too early in this seeing. Sit, incubate, marinate in this state. You know, the mind comes, no. Mind goes, mind comes, You have to give a little bit. We say you want everything, but you give so little of yourself for that. You must stay with it a little bit. And this is how you prove your value. Not just as soon as something from the past comes, you're gone. So it has to stabilize and become more strong. And it's not a long time, considering how long we've been asleep. Can I say like that? Yeah. And this sleep is not just sweet dreams. And so now you wake up, and then somebody come, can I give you a bit of sleeping tablet? No, hello. Enough sleep. You see? So something inside you, this is why I said, I will wait and see. I will look and see who will be the one who will be with this and marinate in it, who will keep just being here. When the mind is saying all wonderful philosophical things on, spiritual, you just stay here. You are just here, sitting, rocking in the arms of God. You did nothing more right now. Nothing more right now, like that. And that would be your strength. Mind will say, but you're not going to get strong just lying around like that. And you have to check that through. Say, no, not true. Go away. You see? You can't just, no, I must listen. No, listen to what he's saying. And use your power. Check in here. And he says, no, it's not true. Go away. It's not true. So you're not afraid of your mind. In the end, he'll be afraid of you. A little bit. But because you're not wicked, gradually he come join you. He come, okay, then he can come in. Because he is the same source as the one who imagines himself to be the person. They are both from the same source. And they must merge in the same source. And then all this show, all this suffering will be finished. And come to it while this body is still warm. Yes, find the imperishable one. While you have time, find the timeless one. And don't waste your time on, just speculations and no. You must experience first, rather than speculate or assume. You must also experience. What you believe must become experience. And then the truth is verified inside you. Okay. Mooji? Okay. You come. I say thank you. No, come in. Very good. Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Namaste. So I just wanted to confirm and clarify around this transitioning from the regime of the person into the self.
Yes.
And I've heard you say just spend time marinating in the what is.
Yes.
And just be in the lap of God.
Yes.
Don't interview God. In terms of, do you have a recommended guidance as to how long every day?
It's good question. It's good question. It's good question. You don't have to worry, because by marinating, I don't mean you have to sit at home all the time. You can be going about doing your things, but you're still inwardly, you're in the marination, you see. You're outwardly, you're doing something, you know, but inwardly, you're in total serenity and peace. It becomes more and more spontaneous. It's become less and less of an action you're doing, and just finding that it's just a state of being, you see. So, but your mind is, you know, like I gave the example, no, that if you fall in love with someone, then you don't need any encouragement from anybody. Hey, you must remember your beloved. No, because you can't forget. You are so, you're cutting your vegetables. The people in the kitchen go, watch that one. You know? Everybody's cooking. You can't forget the beloved. How you can forget the beloved, you see? So this is what happened, is that as you marinate, as you're just sitting, almost every time you find yourself just feeling so nice, you're feeling so good, you're feeling so light. You see? You begin to appreciate. Because then the mind comes and then you see the difference. You see the difference. If you don't know, if you have not experienced what this is, when the mind comes, that's just your regular visitor. It's just, that's what the day is like. But now you are in the heart of that, which is, when the mind comes, you can smell him coming before you would not know. You see, we went to some place and driving, I won't say where, driving along in the countryside, no? You pass one town, it just, the whole place smells like cow shit, basically, okay? You drive, every part is, you know, but the people there are very happy. They can't smell it, because that's how everything smells. I'm sure the cake smells like cow shit, the coffee, okay? Because that is the basic smell there, you understand what I'm saying? When you don't know the difference, you don't smell it. That's how it was with the mind. But now you're in the fresh air of being. When the mind is coming, it's, what's that? You know, you used to be in the company with the mind for, 24, whatever, many hours of the day. Now, that is enough. You see, that is transition. That is transformation. You see, you can't help it. You start to feel more and more appreciative of this natural state of being. And the mind helps, because he provides a contrast. Oh my God, oh, beloved, oh, I'm so happy, see? So it does go. There are times when you will just want to just sit, you feel like you don't want to go anywhere. You sit like, you are so established in peace, it's like you've got a mountain inside you. You just can't move, Doesn't sound very nice, but it is amazing. Such peace, you can't move, sweet peace. Then another moment, you're up a tree. You can feel the vital force is moving in different ways. So I feel it's a natural process. In this case, maybe some people don't immediately fall in love with what is. It's kind of like, we don't know what to do with this. Just, it's like that. But it is recognized. And because you've recognized it, You can't unrecognize it. It is already, the grace of the self, has released its fragrance in you. And from there, this is not something that a human being invented. It is just like a timing in you. It's somehow nobody can explain why in one unit of consciousness or one body, the consciousness is responding so powerfully. In another one, it's a bit more slow, a bit more resistant, a bit more doubtful. In another one, it's like, whoa, they're gone. They're immediately home. Rare, but it can happen also. So I like these questions because it shows that there's genuinely a sort of pull, and how long it can go on for, I don't know. I tell you, even if this marination is going on for the rest of your life, nothing can compare with it. You see? It is just like every day is your best day. Does anybody know this kind of day? Every day is your best day. This is the nature of the self. I say it is like a fruit that keeps getting sweeter and sweeter, but never becomes too sweet. How can you have one fruit? To everybody, it's the same. It tastes just sweeter and sweeter, but it never becomes too. Some people say, no, I like sweet things. Some people say, I don't like sweet things. But this fruit you are going to like very much, because it is the fruit of your own self.
So it can be loved.
Yes, in the beginning, it is loved in the sense that you retain a sense of your individuality as a person, and because of this sense of duality, you think you're loving like one thing loving another, whereas in fact it is it loving itself in the form of other or anotherness. And it can take a while for this sense of other to wear off into just this oneness. If duality has any real beauty about it also, it is for the joy of the self loving itself in the form of everything or everybody. In fact, it's not people. When we say you love everybody, what does it mean, love everybody? You know, a person is not necessarily a very lovable thing. Okay? It's only when the person unites a bit with its heart, it becomes beautiful. You see? It's not just beautiful by itself. A real flower and a plastic flower can look really similar from a distance. But the plastic one has no smell. And it's the same thing. The ego can really resemble like this, but it's not the same. It is not the same. Initially, it will feel like, yes, I'm loving, because even in the egoic state, one is evolving to higher ego, more purified ego, but still ego, which means what? It simply means that you believe in your apartness, you believe in your, what you may call autonomy, you believe in your separateness, you see? And it's not necessarily beating your chest like Tarzan or something. It just means that you believe that you're apart from the one. You see? So all of us feel like that at some point. Even the great sages and saints of the past, they also had that taste in the beginning, and they transcended it because of wisdom, grace, and love, and the urge to find the true. They overcome. Just like you, just like ourselves. Yeah.
And to clarify, in the times when you start to smell the smell of the mind, you do the inquiry, look into who the voice is speaking to, and come back to the observer.
Yeah.
And then those moments where let's say that the energy from the mind comes very strong, and in the moment, it just overpowers you in the moment, then are you to, when the energies have just settled down, come back and sort of look at it,
Yes,
go back and observe afterwards?
let's look at that. I will tell you, you are much more diverse than you think. It is okay. Suppose you say some energy from the mind comes like a tsunami. Whoa. Suppose this one come, okay? And, should you be inquiring who is drowning? No. When that come, actually, there's another way inside. It's just that is what is being experienced at the moment. It doesn't mean that I am not myself. You see, this is a difference. Difference is when something goes against what we like, we imagine that we are being abandoned and, we're rejected by life or God or the beloved. We put meanings into these things that really don't necessarily belong to them. But in some way, we interpret in a very passionate way. But to one whose mind is clear, even if a big thing comes, it's simply accepted. It's not given to the mind and then say, oh, this means that, I'm not in favor with the Supreme and what have I done and all this. No, it's just over there. Oh, over here feels good too. Why not? They don't. It's a different state of being altogether in mind. You see? Even if you feel a little bit underneath this, you're just fine. There's fineness. If you are very much deep in beating on yourself or something, then what we tend to do is then we start to just, everything has too much meaning. And it's a very heavy state when the mind is full of belief and it's not. The mind should be completely empty. When the mind is empty, you are empty. Nothing can go wrong. Everything is just fine. Even death is fine. Even death is fine.
I had this experience recently when, let's say you call it a tsunami, came, and I just allowed it to just come, and, until it moved. And immediately as it left, there was such intense bliss that was there.
Yes.
It's such intense. Like the emotion that had come before was intense, but then as that wave passed, the intensity of the peace and the bliss was and it's just a reminder that was there always, even when the tsunami came.
Yeah.
Just momentarily, maybe the attention goes on to the tsunami.
Yeah.
But once you come back home, the what is
it is a
just
training.
there.
If you don't take things personally, then you won't have the feeling that, oh, this person is doing this to you and why is life doing it to you? All of it is consciousness. Consciousness is playing with consciousness to evolve consciousness. Of course, appearing in the form for other people who say something, somebody's walking past and says, peacock. And you go, did she say peacock? Oh, it's bad luck. Then you are all having dreams about peacock landing on your face, pooing on your pillow. And then you confront the person, excuse me, when you passed me the other day, why did you say peacock? And they say, I said peacock? I don't remember saying anything like that. What's your problem? Who said peacock? Huh? God said peacock. Consciousness said peacock. To get that peacock mentality up and flushed out. When you see it, then you can have a laugh, it's okay. It's not really, we create most of our own trouble through the mind. We do it. This is why we should not cling to mind, because it will present some things to us that your carnal mind likes. And because it likes those things, and then when it comes time to really be open, like for instance to follow the invitation and so on, you can't do it wholeheartedly because you have some, you have some treasures, stored up in the bush over there that you want to enjoy. You can't come fully into this because you're already preoccupied with something else. This is what happened.
And on duality, just if I've understood correctly, is it the self enjoys the play of duality when you're from as the self?
Well, it enjoys. You can say it is so vast. Enjoy is, you can put it in the biggest word, in the biggest term you can put it, in the widest context, in the highest context, you can say it does it for joy, yes. But it's not addicted to that joy.
Just sees the humor, the fun in it. Is that what you mean?
There's no cynicism, really. Well, I have to say there's cynicism as well. Why not? I mean, there's a bit of cynicism is there. It plays everything, but not as cynical as human mind can be cynical, in that way, to take it so deeply. The cynicism, there's truth in cynicism also. There's kind of laughter and fun in it. But if it is happening from the ego, it can be very nasty. But it can also just be funny. Sometimes the cynicism is the most direct way of saying something. Can I go that far? Sometimes it is like bang, and that mouth is closed for a good time after that. You see? But it can be done without spite. I'm just saying these things to show the enormous flexibility that consciousness is. It is not prudish. It is not, thou shalt not. Oh. It is not like that. The mind is like that. So therefore, the one who is free in the heart is not easy to offend someone like that. Momentarily maybe something, but they cannot be offended so deeply. The mind has become too empty to be offended. Empty mind cannot be offended. Impersonal mind cannot be offended. Cannot be. It can laugh though, but it won't be offended, not deeply.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Come a moment. Okay.
I really have something to say.
I know, because your hand was like, whoa.
But now that I'm up here, it seems...
It's okay. You can sit back down too.
No.
Okay.
Because I don't know when is the next time I'll have this opportunity to speak to you.
Okay, good.
And it's very much in line with what has just been said. It's boiling. It's been boiling for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, there's so much coming up. Going to take a few seconds. Okay, what was coming up just now is that I need guidance. I have these really strong pull to withdraw and dwell.
To withdraw from life generally.
Yes, and you know, just stay there and dwell with it. And there's also another pull, which is to be in life with it.
Yeah. They can be sequential also. It can be that for a while you have to take yourself away from something. It is not unwise to do that. You can take yourself away if you feel I need a bit of space. You know, it may not be as much space as you imagine. It's funny because sometimes you feel really overwhelmed. Oh, I need to take a week off, but after one day you feel just great.
Yeah.
You see, like that.
Yeah.
But to make space, to be able to just be by yourself for a moment and to be immersed in a space where you can allow this stuff to come up first, give it some time to come up, but don't participate. That's another thing. Don't try to solve the thing. You can just watch him for a bit. And if you don't jump in, you see, because the mind is started to spin the rope. They say, come, jump in. And you say, yeah. You say, well, no, why, you know? I'm getting married today. Why am I not going to some dusty rope jump? You leave him. You see, like that. And gradually something clears, and you may find then, actually, when I allow the space, then I don't have to work so many things out. It's as though they work themselves out. Sometimes just space is needed.
Yeah.
Not mental working out, just space. That you allow that, you're determined to give that space, and it creates. You find that the mind is clear. Once the mind is clear, don't have to look for any questions, you know.
And I can relate with the tsunami, whereas actually in my case it's more emotional tsunamis coming. And sometimes it takes a few minutes, sometimes it takes days until it takes sometimes a long time to just remember all I have to do is just sit through it.
Are you staying here?
No, I'm really seriously thinking about it though.
No, I just wondered because it's not that you only need to sit with something. Many people try that. It's not sitting with something. It's understanding clearly what your true position is. That's all. So you stop reacting from a false place, but you're seeing from the true place. That's all. Once you see, there's so much joy and freedom in that seeing that you will lose a lot of fear, and you just enjoy when, sometimes a reflex come and you're going from the old position, and something just lets go of that, and you find everything settles down from your real place. That's all. It's not seeing. Sometimes people have spent years sitting, just sitting, and nothing happened. Nothing happened. One sage, one Lama, Zen master Bankai, who I love very much. He was in the 15th century or something, no? From Japan, no? And he also felt he wanted to sit. He found one rock, and he said, "I'm going to sit here until I wake up." He sat, and all that happened, he had a sore backside. Actually, it was so bad that in the end they had to take him away, and he had to be somewhere. Just sitting by itself, determination by itself is not enough. Even you think that I'm determined, and it doesn't. Correct understanding. You see, someone points you say, "No, again you're going back there. Can you see you're going back there again? Okay, can you see that? Then just see, don't go." Wow, that is so easy. Maybe come like this. For some people, for many people, it comes like that. Simple seeing. You're looking from wrong place. And you can look at the wrong place you're seeing from. And something opens up, you see? Not just merely sitting. Sitting has its place. But with right guidance like that.
Because right now, I'm really not sure this is where I need guidance, is that I feel that this pull to be in these states, in the world, surrounded with people, is something else I should just not engage with and resist.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult because at the same time I honor the fact that I am consciousness in this body, in this form.
Yes.
And that, just consciousness or God, whatever, decided to be here in this body, in this form.
Okay.
And is it just then a play of the mind again that I feel that, well, I just can't withdraw?
That is a mind.
Okay.
That is mind. You don't direct consciousness. You can't direct consciousness. You say, consciousness is in this body, and it must be here for a purpose, and if I'm in the world, then I should just be in the world, and it's too much mind itself, you see? If you feel, you must also, nothing wrong to go with the deeper feeling. If you feel, I feel I need to go away for a while and just to be in a space like this or whatever, no? Or to look. I recommend places like this where you are, where truth is the climate. The vibration is for that. And then you find that almost anyone you speak to, they give you a clear reflection of this. And then you say, yes, but I'm in the world, and so, consciousness must want me to be. You see, that's also, you can, otherwise, you can't really, you have an idea, but you feel bad about the idea, doing the idea, because you think that is forcing yourself when conscious put you here. But this is also forcing yourself staying here. Why not go with the feeling you have to you cannot make such a big mistake. If you are searching for truth, even if you make mistakes, it's okay. Don't make any big mistake. Sometimes you have to make a mistake to then recognize it was a mistake. I say that consciousness sometimes creates the sense of a problem in order to have the experience of transcending it. It is, maybe transcendence is the name of the game, I don't know.
Actually, to me, being here is what I call being in the world. When I mean withdraw, it's really just being alone, which is sort of seems to be easier for me at this moment.
In what way is it easier?
I have more space to just let everything fully come up. And believe me, and I love when you say that consciousness keeps testing itself. That really, really helps me in these moments, because it's really doing a really good job, like bringing...
If it's testing itself, it must be growing, it must be expanding in a purer space.
That's what it feels. How it feels also is that it's bringing me a tougher challenge every time. Which I'm, okay, and now I'm totally fine with it.
I'm not sure about that. Why should you be going to challenges after challenges? Why not go to clarity?
I would love to.
No, I'm just asking because sometimes we think, it keeps bringing you tougher and tougher. To test you being what? To go more and more challenges. You have so many things you have to be challenged about. If you see from the good, from the right place, it is enough. You see from the right place, and then something has to, if there's a practice, it is to stop the reflex to keep going back to the wrong place. That's it.
So really, and thank you for saying this, because what happens is that I think I have clarity, and then I say, okay, now I'm ready, now I can come to Monte Sahaja. And then I come here, and then I realize, no, it was not, it was
the
not...
thing is that you're thinking too much. You're using your mind too much. You don't give a rest. You see, you're using your mind, you're trying to use the mind to overcome the mind. Then the mind itself will say, even this kind of place is too noisy, you must go to a place where it's just you and me. Why don't you go to a place where mind is not? If you, when you go to a place when you're really alone, then you are without mind, and then you've reached a very good place. But if you leave a place like this, you go to a place where it's you and mind. Correct me, I'm just pushing to see.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
not... I'm sorry, because maybe I should just... well, I have to really muster some courage if I want to... it's quite intimate.
Now you have to say, when you say something like that, now you whet the appetite of everybody. Something very intimate. Ooh. There are people who are sleeping, they're quite up now. I want to know what he wants to share now today.
So I had this, after spending some time really alone, and I was listening to Satsang, I was listening to the pointings, and I was really practicing them, and had these just amazing realizations. And at some stage, it just popped up. I was like, okay, no, I'm going to Monte Sahaja. That's it. There's no plan B. I'm just going. I'm just coming. I was quite far away, so it took some time. So it takes some time to have the whole process organized. And then when I came here, I thought I could maintain this truth, even in interactions. And then when I came here, I realized it's not so easy, not right now. I realize I still, when I am interacting with people, I still have, maybe not at first, but after a while, after maybe 3-4 times meeting them, I have expectations coming back again. For example, expecting this interaction with this being to be as beautiful as the first time. And
beautiful meaning like what?
Well, just recently, actually after I left here, really frustrated and angry the last time, I don't know, something really clicked the day after, and I was like, well, I'm just going to observe the changeful from the place that is not changeful. And I don't know why, also something came up. I just an intention. I'm going to see God in everyone's eyes, and that was a very strong intention. And I was there. I was surrounded with amazing people, beautiful beings, and very open. And I had these moments of just looking into each other's eyes that were so intense, the most intense form of encounter. And and then that happened after meeting the person for the second time or the third time. It just, I could watch that expectations was coming back. I was expecting this to continue. I was expecting this to be as intense. And I'm actually quite happy about the whole process, because I could really observe, even though I was still getting caught in this cycle of expectations, I could observe it, so it's already much better than what I was doing before. So this is it. This is basically what I meant. It's through interactions with people that I realize I'm not really totally clear with this topic of expectations.
Well, in listening to that now, I feel that you should stay with people. I'm not saying stay here, because we are not even out of space at the moment, but you should stay in this type of environment, because it keeps on poking in your little stuff.
Absolutely.
You see, to see where, and take instructions also about it. Because there are people who go sometime in India, they go live in Himalayas for a while, and they live just in orange, and they're like some monk up in Himalayas, people call them Swami and all this kind of stuff. And then they have to go back to, Belgium or to England for something, and when they come, they lose all their light. They'll, easily, people on all these buses and all this, and very much not like a monk at all, more like a monkey. They're so agitated. I can't wait to get back to India. This is not monk. It doesn't matter. The scenes will change, but the seer remains unchanging. This is steadiness, you see. And to going off on your own like this, don't make a decision even, you see, because the person is behind most of them. You see, when you sit quietly in the midst where the people, you find a quiet place, when it feels like that, take instructions, follow the instructions, and somehow you grow out of it. That is the best. Otherwise, your mind will say, "Go on your own. You're much better. On your own, you'll be an emperor." But when you come back into contact with people, you're going to hate it. People, cats make better company and all this thing. You'll be like that because you have not won over your own mind. You see, it's a very important thing. I'm happy that I hear more of what you say, because so not just one standard answer, but to say, no, if you have to go away, who is behind this going away? Is it the Supreme Being is telling you, go away, go by yourself? Huh? No, it's not him. It's the mind itself is saying, I'm having trouble. When I stay here, I feel very exposed. I don't like feeling exposed. I feel very uncomfortable. Let's go away. Where we can meditate. Meditation need not be, hours and hours and hours and hours. Sometimes I wake people up. I say wake them up because sometimes they're sleeping, actually. But shake them up. Whoa, come. No, I prefer I have your attention right now. Then you go off into meditation is a kind of excuse to not hear what I'm saying, because what I'm saying is a sword at your throat. Well, your meditation is a pillow by the side of your head. And your mind will not choose the sword. It's going to go, pillow. He wants to sleep. We're here to wake up. Everybody here in Monte Sahaja are on death row for the ego. Nobody is here, as tourists. It's the most beautiful, beautiful place. It's not a prison, but everybody on death row. Meaning death to what is not true. You see? I tell you because, I also get letters from people, "Oh, Guruji, I'm so happy, I feel so free now and everything. Please let me come to Monte Sahaja for 3 days and just to sit with you and look in your eyes and to say thank you." Oh, okay. Send. Then they come and they're hiding from me. They ask, "Can I come?" And then they come here and they're walking behind trees. I say, "Hey, you." What is that? Is something inside is uncomfortable. It's going to catch you. It's going to catch you. But I'm here to catch you. So that you can be free. To catch something doesn't feel right. Why are they hiding? Are you Jennifer? Yes. Can I read your letter? Guruji, I'm dying to see you. Yes, you come to see me to die, basically. Of that. And it is a work of consciousness, in fact, to come and then something is unexpected. Fear came up. It was the same for myself. When I met my own Guruji, I wrote a letter to him. I thought he was going to go, my son has come. Did I get a son's hug? No. But that was what was needed. If I knew that was coming, I don't write no letter. I was in a card. And that was what was so good. Some things are hiding that you cannot recognize. A master recognized something. You come. We look together, and then, sure. How does that feel? Ouch! You want another one? Okay, so good. We are good for the moment.
Well, so your recommendation would be to stay, because you started saying it's okay to like withdraw and then come again.
Because I was hearing you from a different place. I was thinking, yeah, one needs to meditate in a crowded environment. Well, go with that and so. But then when I saw the complexity behind it, lots of, I said, no, you need to stay a little bit. You say, look, is it? Yeah. I wouldn't know where to put you, but you need to be in a space like this if you can find it, or if we can find a place for you to come, or at least to attend the classes or the satsangs, and go. You don't have to sleep here. You can go. You see, yeah. I don't even like to do that because I prefer you get it today. I don't want to set you up for 2 or 3 days. I don't like that. I'm not into 2 or 3 days. I'm kind of here for today. Okay. Thank you. We'll take one more or so before we... you can come. Yeah? No, in front? Yes. Let's see. Yeah. Okay.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste.
I will try to answer the question from the experience perspective.
Okay.
So this self that we've been discussed, and by concept, it's not possible to change. It's not possible to move. But by practicing, at the moment when clarity starts increasing by itself, the first time you see, okay, it's not moving, there's something out there, the dualism, and then you can come back and see itself. But then clarity increases, and then non-conceptuality or the non-concepts are just there, it's just a direct experience. Obviously, it comes along with bliss.
So it comes around with?
With bliss or joy.
Okay.
And then, but coming back to this clarity, then it is possible to see that this awareness, this consciousness, can fluctuate.
Can?
Fluctuate or move by itself, knowing itself.
What is capable of watching consciousness fluctuate? And when you say consciousness, you mean what by consciousness?
Self.
Self, okay.
So,
in what way is it fluctuating?
It is stable from the perspective that always knowing. And then at the point that it knows something else that is not the self, it's knowing the mind. Then it changes, it moves.
That depends on the maturity of the seeing. Mm-hmm. If there is duality in the seer, then it will appear as though consciousness is changing. You see, if the seer, from the perspective of the one who sees, if there is a duality in them, meaning that, not that now we are speaking, I have the sense you are here, I am here, and others are sitting down, okay? It is through the field of duality, of consciousness, in its expression of duality, that we can have this sensation. The duality is very, very necessary for experiencing. Nevertheless, from where the perceiving of duality is, that which perceives the expression of duality and so on, that is not a duality, that is not fluctuating. But what appears in it, that fluctuates, and the one who identifies, yeah, I feel like this today, I feel like that, that is also fluctuating. That is all. You see, the thing is that the consciousness in the mode of person has the capacity also to observe. It's just that it observes primarily with self-interest. Being a sort of private self, it tends to observe to the extent that what suits me and what does not suit me. Its world and concerns are very localized to itself and those it loves. But from the deeper consciousness, the impersonal consciousness, as we somehow keep discovering that there's a deeper space of consciousness, and the deeper we recognize as consciousness, the less personal it becomes. In the deepest place, there is no personal. Even though there may be apparent, the seer knows that it's only apparent. It is not the full, it is not the totality. It is an expression of that. So no great factuality is present for that seer in the field of the changeful. The changeful is also perceived in a very natural way and is even enjoyed. The seer, from the one who sees, I would say like that. I'm putting it now, the one who sees in the world of duality and multiplicity, and that seeing point happens in the place I call in the space of the fluid consciousness or the conscious presence. That is the seeing of the dynamic existence. But that seer and seeing is itself the subtlest phenomenon looking from the place of the absolute. There's no fluctuation in the absolute there.
When it becomes non-dual, then there is nowhere to experience from a conceptual perspective it's moving or it's changing. But from a non-conceptual perspective, you are not a rock. You can taste, you can move, you can know. So that's the fluctuation.
You can have the sense of knowing and the sense of otherness, because the consciousness manifests like that. It manifests through the five elements and through the body, the senses, and so on. And because it wants to taste, but duality is perfectly expressed, but it is seen as a function of the non-dual self. It doesn't have an independent reality. It is only a function, a mode or expression of the one non-dual self. So it doesn't hurt. It doesn't, sometimes people say, oh, I'm not really into duality. That is itself duality speaking. You see, I don't find any problem. Without duality, there can be no experience. But it's just a function inside the non-dual seeing. I don't want to bend people's minds to say these things. It's enough space and time for them to come to it by themselves. If you follow the simple guidance that is given, you will come to that conclusion yourself, even without someone saying that is the conclusion. It leads to that point. In the same way that together we are speaking, and also there are many people who have not seen in this type of face-to-face way. But if they follow the exercise, with one voice they can say, yes, it is like this. No, it's not this, because they are looking for the first time from the heart and with the heart, with the eyes of the heart. And all the answers are the same. Funny thing to say that. Because where do you ever go where human beings agree, actually, except when they are subscribing to a certain kind of persuasion or something? If we are all members of the Conservative Party, we also here also. But when we look more closely, we are not here. We are very there, actually. We're not so close. But in this looking, because it is not based on duality, it's not the evidence of your eyes, your physical eyes, or your thinking mind. It is coming direct. It's as though the self is speaking about the self for a change. And that's why I say it is very unique, actually, to have this kind of response. And I was asking, do you know the implication of what is happening here? Because it will feature, for the first time, you have a sense of where humanity is one family. Only here you can be. If we speak from the place of the body-mind identity, we are so cultured and so conditioned and so identified with our body that unity is merely a concept. It is merely kind of wishful thinking, or even not everyone wants this unity either. You see? But in this field of total non-dual seeing, from the heart, it is like this. It is like differences don't thrive at this height of seeing. And it is here that you can say, we are one. It is amazing for me to hear this, you know, in this, because thousands of people, I've had the opportunity to speak with people from around the world. I have had this beautiful privilege of speaking and sharing and looking and exploring together. And to meet this type of response from people, which is like a kind of what we call a mass awakening or mass seeing, it is very rare. I have not read or heard about that. That is not, you know, coming out of a kind of evangelical excitement or something, but out of clear, sober seeing human beings to look. It's very beautiful. Because I'm not asking for their belief system or your point of view or where you came from. From your own self you are speaking. But the implication, sometimes I said, my God, you don't realize what you're seeing yet. Gradually, it will open up its mysteries and its beauty. To the one who I'm going to say is worthy, sounds a bit strong, but by worthiness I mean worthy by attitude, not worthy by soul, but worthy by attitude. The one who values it, even if one senses like that, you see. It started out like that for my own self. I had one little from God, I would say like this. And I went totally crazy in the most beautiful way. All change of character, I'm sure people said that to me, but I couldn't see. I just felt wonderful like that. And it was very easy for this attitude of just surrendering everything, whatever that meant. It was just an attitude of surrendering everything. What can make you do that? It must be something great about human life if something can make you change direction in such a powerful way. You see? You're going along, tung, 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 and then you're like, whoa! It must be something great that a human being can explode or implode in such a beautiful way. That all change of everything. And then, you know, you're not worried about what's going to happen, how people are going to take it. They can figure that out later. That's an afterthought. Right now, I'm just here, you know. And this, you cannot regret, somehow.
So at the moment of experiencing this non-duality, from the beginning perspective, it is, as you say, you surrender instead of trying to contract and say, this self doesn't change, it doesn't change, it doesn't change.
You know, when
Just
these
surrender.
things happened for me, I didn't know anything about duality and non-duality. A lot of these words came later. They came later when they seemed to fit in, when they felt right for me. I didn't know anything about Brahman and, you know, sort of like these type of terminologies, you know, nirvana and samskara. I didn't know anything about these things. Mm-hmm. It's not the words. The experience took place, and I learned what the experience was later on. when I read something, so that's what is happening. I didn't know the words. I came about them after. So duality, non-duality don't mean nothing for me. I just felt happy and felt completely like, wow, it's like for so much of my life, I was doing different things, sports, martial arts, all different things, arts and so on. And always something was driving. I was looking for ultimate expression in artwork. Like I would make an ultimate painting. I didn't know what that was, a crazy idea. And obsessed almost with it. And all the things that we studied martial, always just looking for this. What is it that is just like, it cannot be a program. It cannot be a program. It has to be spontaneous. How I can train to be spontaneous? What do you do to be spontaneous? These are all this type of stuff. And then when this happened, I realized that's what I'm searching for, but I was not aware of it. Why? Because when that was felt, the urge dropped away. It was like, you're home, something felt at home. And yet I had to keep being more at home, and more at home, and more at home. You're at home, but you have to be more at home. Something like this played. Later on, you come to see that once I go to the door, I am everywhere at home. You see? But at first, when you're just new, I'm at home, but I'm just in the hallway. And now, now I'm in the kitchen. But now I feel I'm everywhere at home. You see? This is a natural evolution, not something I did.
Okay. And last, coming back to duality, I have a sense of clinging to this clarity when I'm experiencing the dual experience. Then I cling to this clarity because I like it, because I can go beyond if I have more clarity. But then I say, if I die like this, I can die at any moment. I can die practicing. And if I die clinging to clarity, well, I don't know, is that okay to die clinging to clarity?
Well, of all the things you could die from, that's the most nice, I think. Suppose people say sometimes, I'm attracted to you, but I don't want to be attached to you, Mooji. I say, well, we're not working for attachments here. But what about if you are been attached to many things? But what about if you're attached to freedom? What's going to happen? Is it bad that you're attached to freedom? Then something must be good, no? Suppose I was attached to, sort of like, I can't even think. No. You see, don't worry about that. The thing is that it's not you're attached. You love this thing. You're getting results from this. You're in a state of evolution and aspiring for something of the highest thing. That has a power also. You see? And sometimes you can be maybe you are so deeply established or unified with the thing you love that you don't even taste death at all when it comes. You don't even know what happened. Maybe you don't even know.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you, excellent.
Thank you. Okay, let me tell you what's happening now. It says 6:17, okay? And normally, these Sunday satsangs were going very regularly for a time, and then we had to, different things come. We were traveling or so and so happens, and so we couldn't continue with the regularity like that. So some while ago, satsangs were of this nature. We would come and sit very much like we are now today. Very nice. And then we would take a break. I get a few letters that come. Some letters come from different people around the world and so on. And so we usually take a break about now, and then people go and have some chai or something, and we come back like in 15 minutes or something like that, 20 minutes, 15 minutes. And we sit and I read some of these letters, and they're actually quite, it's another way in which satsang happens. So usually for another hour or so we have letters, and you're welcome to come back, and I can enjoy you some more. So like that, I feel it would be good to maybe take a little break for those of you who could do with a pee or something, and a cup of tea. Did I say pee? Sorry. But before you go, I would like to listen to someone play some music. Somebody very good. You want to play some music? No, he's playing. Oh, really good. So.
What are you waiting for? Look. What are you looking for? Is there something in the way? Trying to hold on tight to change, then let go, my friend. The beginning is the end. What you come to see is that you will always be. The song remains the same. Upasana, yeah, we dance inside the storm. Sudasattva, we will be forevermore. You are strong, you are wise, you are patient, you are kind. Upasana, yeah, we dance inside the storm. You fight, but what are you fighting for? Knock. Who's knocking at the door? Does it open from within? Are we ready to begin? Then let go, my friend. The beginning is the end. What you come to see is that you have always been. The song remains the same. Upasana, yeah, we dance inside the storm. Sudasattva, we be forevermore. You are strong, you are wise, you are patient, you are kind. Upasana, yeah, we dance inside it. Is there something more to life? Don't tell me you're just here to die when you cannot see behind. For your veil is where you hide. We must all look deep inside. Upasana. We dance inside the storm. Sudasattva. We will be forevermore. I am strong, I am wise, I am patient, I am kind. Upasana. Yeah, we dance inside the storm. Upasana. Yeah, we dance inside the storm. Upasana. Yeah, we dance and we dance and we dance. Upasana. Yeah, we dance inside your storm. Upasana. Yeah, we dance.
From Spain, we got it from Spain. For you, it's a mandala. One elephant in the center. Perhaps you like elephants.
I think I'm the elephant in the center.
Thank you, Mooji. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
My son and me bought in Cadiz. You know Cadiz?
Cadiz.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, thank you, thank you, thank you. A very beautiful day. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Very good.
Snail is still here.
Oh, really?
He's still here.
That's amazing. The snail a few days ago was wrapped around a finger like a ring. The same one?
I don't know what to do with it.
What do you do when you're sleeping?
It's in my bottle down here. Do you want a pet snail?
No, I think
Okay.
you're doing very well there. I think.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, look at this one here. I hope I come soon by. Some more days. Try. You're here hotel? Yeah. Yeah. Love you. Love you. Very nice. Look at that.